Hi, I'm JDHD, and welcome to the Always Right podcast. I knew you'd do that. But hey, you're the one talking about. Welcome to the Always Right podcast. I am your co-host, Jamie Vendera, and this is my other co-host,
Carissa DeLay, author Carissa DeLay. It's funny because you're always like, I'm co-host. Like, it's funny when you do that because I
do it to mess with you because I know you're like, because you say you open this one, and every time I know, as soon as I do, you're like regretting it. You're like, because I'm lazy. I don't really want to open or close. I'm not an opener or closer. I'm a middler.
Sometimes I gotta take you out of your comfort zone and make you do the things that you don't want to do, which is perfect to start this episode because no one wants to write an author bio about themselves.
I know, that's true.
It is the hardest thing. It is so hard to write about yourself.
It is.
And I feel like that's one of those things that a lot of authors. Okay, let's take a small break for Jamie and his water bottle.
I gotta finish it before we're done. All right.
Oh my gosh. All right. Surprised you don't get up in between sets and like go pee a scream.
I told you I'm like a camel. I'll hold it until the middle of the night and then I pee 15 times.
Oh my gosh. So I like my sleep. I hate having to get up. I'm like,
oh, I do too.
I wait for an hour while my stomach hurts.
I'm like, why didn't I break down and buy me some Depends like I've been thinking about?
Diana be like, Jamie, stop.
All right. Author bios.
Yes, author biography of who you are, like your bio of what's going on the back of your book, what's going on your KDP, what is telling people about who you are. When a newspaper writes you up, they're going to pull information from there. So don't make it a one-liner.
And don't make it like, hey, I'm a garbage salesman, and and in my part-time I like cricket. It's about. Did I use my Kentucky voice? I did.
I don't know. It's like some kind of like Midwestern Southern rampage or something.
It's like the Green Mile. Can I get some of that cornbread? That's what I was thinking.
I've actually watched that movie. So there's a movie that you've listed or stated that I've actually watched.
Good. Did go down Mansfield. Okay. That's where you live.
Author bios should, my personal opinion, be written in third person. That's what makes them difficult. Facebook ads for businesses and author bios, third person.
I've actually seen some first person, and I'm like I cringe. Hi, I'm so and so, and blah 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 blah. No, it's not about that. You're not selling yourself. It's got to be like like somebody else wrote it. I hated writing mine.
You are selling yourself.
You are but not like look at me. From like you've been to a party and someone's like bragging, I've done this. That's why I hate writing bios. I remember going to a high school reunion, and people's like, I'm doing this and doing that, and they asked me what you do, and I really don't want to say, honestly, because I when you read my bio. And I'm a humble person, but it reads like this guy is so full of it. He did not do all of that. And so they're like, what did you do? What do you do? Well, I'm a coach and all that it. Yeah, I wrote like 60, 70 books. I've been all over the world. And I remember going to somebody's like, they're drunk, but they're laughing. They're like, there is no way that's what you've done. So that's why I hate writing bios.
I get I feel like we're tooting our own horn right now. But I get the same way when people are like, especially if I have to do a descriptive post on who I am, it's kind of like, well, here it goes. This is going to be the whole, like, I'm fluffing myself up, but I'm not. Like, I'm like, listen, I don't sing. I don't run marathons.
No, but I would think the same thing hearing you with I'm like, she's an artist. She's a tattoo artist. She's owned her own business. She's written multiple books. She does this. She does art, design. And I'm like, okay, if one person would have done, like, I'm a tattoo artist and that's what they do, I could understand, but it was bam, 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 bam. It does get kind of silly. But honestly, when you're writing your bio, that's what you're looking for. You know what? It could be, hey, you were on national television for this or that, or you held this award. That is the kind of stuff that newspapers want to read. That's the kind of stuff that when someone reads your bio, they're like, wow, they hold their masters and they won this award in science. Wow, I got to check out this author. So it is kind of, in essence, it is kind of a fluff piece, honestly.
Yeah, you're giving yourself credit, But again, we've talked about this in, I think, the word vomit episode, where we're like, and even in the KDP episode, where we're like, don't use things that are personal opinions, like best book ever, or always this way, or I'm the only person that does this. No, you're not. So like, you got to be careful about how you list yourself to not look like you're just a Facebook ad, or those little like as seen on TV type things.
Correct.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something. I was waiting for that.
No, I just wondered if you're going to read your bio.
I can read mine at the end. I've changed my bio, but I'd have to look it back up because I've changed my bio on KDP because I no longer live.
I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. Yes, I know. You live in
on the white sand shorelines of Destin, Florida. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for mentioning us.
I had to write 2 bios, one for Vendera Publishing and one for JamieVendera.com, because it is the same world, but it's not, with coaching and all I've done with the artists I've worked with and the television shows I've done. That's more important for that world, where my Vendera Publishing bio, there's a little bit in there about it, but it's like, hey, I've been on Mythbusters, but I've written, so many books on singing, and I'm in fiction and blah, and you get straight to the point. I feel like, I don't know how you feel about your length, but I think I did maybe 3 paragraphs. There were 2 tiny paragraphs and one little thicker one, and that's about it.
My author bio, I think originally was a short paragraph, but it wasn't very good. And my second version, hold on, let me go look while we're doing that.
I was just checking to make sure I didn't put my bio on the back of my books, any of them. I know some people do, but I try to get to the point and use up that space to talk about the book.
Yeah.
But that's personal preference.
Yeah. So my original author bio was terrible because it was literally like 1 sentence, and it's like on the back of this.
But some people do that
under my page. Yeah. What?
I mean, a lot of authors do that. And I considered that one time, but I thought, I need to talk a little more about the book, so it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
Plus, I stuck my face on the front of most of my books instead on the back.
Yeah. This was my self-published version, and I guess I never realized this was one of my first prints off the press, and how crooked it was. This is how you know the difference between quality.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, I mean, it felt like quality, but like literally, look at this. It's all cut off.
They should have caught that. Quality control, they'll talk about bleed and edge and all that.
Yes. Like, I didn't even realize this is like because I had a hardback and paperback on that one. So I didn't even realize that one was like, but then you have good quality, Daniel's layout, Then Tim helped me, Tim Cruise Camp, he did the whole cover thing and helped me he doesn't like to do all the word stuff anymore, but I was like, please. But this one, by the time I got to my nonfiction, I had 2 paragraphs. So it evolved to like less than like the 1 sentence, but I revamped it on KDP, and I will update it on Canvas. When it comes out, I'll have a new author bio that I kind of like updated based on where I am, things I'm doing. But at the same time, I didn't add, like, no one that reading my fiction novels needs to know I'm a tattoo artist. That has nothing to do with me writing.
No, but I mean, but if you delved into that world more, started drawing more and painting more, then I can understand. Like with me, I have a bio for vocal coach and a bio for author. That's where that would come in.
Well, if I wrote a book about like the tattoo tales of my inked world, that's different. I'm a tattoo artist. I would probably put that on there.
Or if you were like, a lot of the tattoos are based on characters in your book or something, you'd be like, yeah, she's a tattoo artist and she actually ties in her art with her books. That would make sense. And if you're a new author and you're like, I don't do anything, guys, except I am a tattoo artist. If that's important to you, that's fine, but think of like, what's going to promote you as an author.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, this is your space to showcase your unique ability to create new personalities and storylines and themes and things that you're trying to get out onto page. So what brought you to this point? Why are you fascinated with that? Explain what kind of sparked your writing fuel, your fuel for writing this book. So there's, author Jamie Vendera has always sought to take his mind to other worlds with his JDHD, and to follow him on the adventures.
I was just in two different worlds. I'm back.
Yeah. So this is a way to basically to target your audience. This is a good way to bring people in, like, this is who I am. These are the things that fascinate me about writing, or these are the types of things that I like to read, or whatever it is. It still has to be in third person. But like you had said, you need to mention those notable achievements. If you're writing your second book and your first book got notability, oh my gosh, speak. Got its recognition. It got recognized. It has been recognized by awards from other sites that maybe have given you an award for your book. No, write that down. Award-winning author. Like we have Anne McGee. She's an award-winning author. So, those are things. Don't forget to mention that, because those are key elements. People, people think this deserves a, what is it? Christmas Story, a major award. Fragile.
I'm not ignoring you. I was trying to I can't find it. So, Dr. Vox, we're trying to get what is your little blue check on Instagram, and of course we're not going to pay for it. Same thing with Jamie
yeah, verified.
Yeah, so I try to get verified, and I'm like, yeah, I've been on Dr. Oz and MythBusters, I've written this, I've been published, but honestly, they don't care, because it's like, what is current? So we have to do a press release for Dr. Vox and Jamie Vendera and Brian Burkheiser, which Brian's already from iPrevail, one of my partners. So our other partner, Martin Nansky, is actually put it together, and we had to do bios, and like Brian's bio was like, hey, he had surgery, and then as he was coming back, he found Jamie Vendera as his coach and Dr. Vox, and mine was, hey, I was on a show and I got a piece of glass in my throat, luckily I found Dr. Vox. So those bios are tying into what you're selling. So earlier I was like, you're not selling yourself. Yeah, like you said, you are at third person. So think of your bio just like that press release that Dr. Vox is doing. We're trying to get the word out about specifically what we want to promote, which is the vocal therapy device. So if you're submitting to a newspaper and you're not submitting as yourself, but your agent, even though it's you and you're writing in third person, how would you want everybody to perceive you? You're the author of this new fantasy novel that's based on 5 books, and the first one launches in 2 weeks or whatever. When you won a literary award in high school and in college and blah 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 blah. So everything ties into that. But don't make it grandiose. You don't want to go over the top. That's why I hate doing mine again.
Well, so you say grandiose at the same time. You don't want to make it too grandiose that you look like you're too big for your britches.
Exactly, and that's what I hate with mine, because that's why I'm like, yeah, let's take it down, So it's like, there ain't no way, Chris has done all this and Jamie's done all this, or you as a new author has, won the Olympics or whatever. You have to look at like what perceives to the message you're trying to get across with the book that you're trying to sell currently, because you're going to write others and your bio will change.
Yeah, and that's where I feel like you have to be very careful with your wording to also somehow connect with your readers on a personal level. You don't want to make it so grandiose and so like big for your britches that people think, I don't want to listen to this person talk. They sound self-absorbed. You need to take it down a notch and be a real person at the same time.
I think that's how our bios, if you go to venderapublishing.com and look at all our authors, I feel that's how those are. And then if you want to see something that is a little crazy, then go to jamievendera.com/about and look at that one. And you're like, this guy's full of it. But it works for vocal coaching with what I'm doing. Right. But I like the elegance of a shorter bio, like what we have on Vendera Publishing. That's nice, it's conversational, it's to the points, and it's not so over the top.
Yeah, and so like, for my author bio which I changed my author bio up for Before the World Was Lost, because this one was a nonfiction. So this one here, I'm talking about, I've already written the Crystal Gate 2 books. you got to kind of keep your author bio updating. So
Yep.
if your very first book, you have an author bio and this is your first book and you put that on all your books, it's going to look like it's your first book every time. So make sure you're always tweaking and updating and making sure you're up to date with what you're
That can
putting
be a
out
pain in the butt because I've
there.
I've already thought about that because all the books I've written, I was like, man, I'm pretty sure I'm done with writing in the vocal coaching world. It's not that I don't have any more thing to say, but I can teach. I'm like I'm satisfied with that. So I really need to update and make that same bio because every book it's different. It's a little different because he's written this book and now he's written this book. So
Mhm.
in the long run, if you start writing a lot of books like us, then you're like, ugh, I gotta go back and update my interior design and resubmit it to the
Mhm.
printing company. And this Kindle, it's a
Mhm.
little easier. Ebooks, it's a little easier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have talked about the KDP, and there is a section, and we'll go more into this in your Author Central, but even when you're KDP on your Kindle books, you can update your author bio a lot easier than you can in your print versions. But yeah, we'll go more into detail with the Author Central stuff, like when you're doing your basic author Facebook on Amazon. We'll do that later. But you do want to keep it up to date. I don't listen. We gotta what's happening here? My
I've done lost all my creative focus now. It's no longer
I know,
mountains or
right?
anything.
Skip
But
that one.
I have a hankering. I want to clean now or sweep something.
No, those were poise pads for people
Oh,
like you that need to that they pee their
for
pants
Pete.
because
I
they drink
thought it
too
was
much
like a
water.
Swiffer thing, so I
No,
didn't see it. Now we're back in the
that's not at
forest.
all.
Now I'm
No,
back into Age of the
poise
Sigil.
pads. Oh yes, yeah. Now we're back to the unbelievable worlds to inspire Jamie to finish Age of the
Sigil.
Sigil. Yes. Um. Okay. Well, there was something I was going to say. Oh, so for this one, you can see my photos changed. I updated my photo because in this one I have zero eyebrows. I have no eyebrows. No eyebrows. In this one, I have eyebrows.
I would
So
update mine, but I
update the
feel like then
photos.
I'll look like a gray-haired wizard, and I'm like, I want to keep the
Gandalf.
yes.
Yes. Yes. No, I had, and so the first one, I literally took in my living room with a photographer, or Tim. Tim came. He did all my covers, everything. He did an amazing job. He's a professional photographer. He did that in my living room. He moved away, and I needed to update my photo because I had eyebrows now, so I needed a better photo. And then I had Tara Richards from Jackson. She came in and did an amazing job and got my new photos, so I used those for everything. So yeah, you got to keep a little up to date. I feel like because sometimes I feel like if you look at author bios, that author doesn't look like that anymore.
Yep.
You see them in public, like, oh,
That's not
you
the
don't look
same person.
no, no. So, anyways,
That's same
I'm
with
trying to
mine.
think.
I have some with short hair and some with long hair. So
I like. There's one. Your hair's pulled back and your arms are crossed. I like
yep.
that one when we do like ad stuff because I feel like that one's just not too animated. It's very basic.
Yeah, I love that one, and now I don't know if that was Sean, my buddy, who's a filmographer and he does a lot of stuff. He done some for me, and I'm like very faithful to my team. I have a small circle, so I had a local photographer who I still love, and it was nothing against him. He probably did that one, and I'm telling you, JDHD just kicked in because I just forgot his name, Kevin. And Kevin, I'm sorry I forget your last name. This guy's freaking awesome. He did all my pictures for Raise Your Voice. He did Raise Your Voice 2, Ultimate Breathing Workout. So great. So Sean did like Mind Over Music cover, Sing Strong. No, not Sing Strong, Sing Fit. And it was just convenience. I was always with him. But yeah, find it and have a good photographer. So I've been blessed in that aspect. In the beginning I did. I remember having my wife on a little old Kodak or something take pictures for the first Raise Your Voice. They
One of
didn't
those little
look good.
green, like you send them in.
Yes, I had this was back in 2003, 2002, snapping all these pictures out of work and had to go get them processed at Walmart or wherever, and then take a picture of it or send them to somebody to put in a book. And it was like, yeah, come a long way since then.
Yeah. I mean, now your iPhones are basically,
Oh, amazing.
high res. high resolution pictures. So, include your website, include your social media handles, anything that is relevant to contact information so your readers can reach out and connect with you and learn more about you as you're updating new books. Make sure all those things are listed on your author bio at the end. If like kind of when we do our episodes, it's for more information. You can follow here. You can go to this website. You can email us here. Make sure that stuff's in your author bio and maybe even a little separate snippet right below your main information so it doesn't get lost.
And I know, like in this day and age too, websites aren't as prominent anymore. I still believe you need one. We're getting ready to update mine because there was like, why do we need it? You got Instagram, you have Facebook and all this, but with a website, at least you can have all your socials there. They can access everything, and especially if it's your name, like ChrisDelay.com, JamieVendera.com. It's just, to me, it's a calling card. Are they going to spend much time at your website? Probably not. You know, they're going to search on you on Amazon and Facebook, but at least you have a central hub that they can find everything they need to do.
Although, so what I do on my website is I have my most recent book on there, but something that is nice is the person who helps run my website, Jenny Massey from JSM, she has it to where you can click on blogs and you can see on my blog posts, and I will load my college papers that I've written about certain topics on there that pertain to like maybe something that would be along the lines of what I'm writing. So like the Gospel of Mary, or like the paper I wrote on that one. These are all objective writings. They're not like theological writings. They're just religious studies writings. So I put those on my website because they pertain to like this most recent book. So yeah, but that, I mean, that's kind of a place to find me, but you can get all my social media pages that way too. So I do send some people that way.
Yeah,
But
lots to think about, authors. You really need to put time into your bios. I suggest you go to VenderaPublishing.com and review those. Go to Chris's site. Go to search us out on Amazon. Take note. I mean, copy and paste and kind of reword it so it makes sense to you with yours. So it's short and sweet and to the point, but it has all your bullet points for who you are.
yes, and by the time this episode launches, I will have yours and my author bios updated on Vendera Publishing to kind of talk about some of the things we talked about, update any of our new stuff, especially mine as far as has changed since we put that out there. I'm going to change mine. So when this airs, I'll have mine updated so people can go to VenderaPublishing.com, scroll down, you can see all of our authors, click on one of our black and white photos, and then you can go right to the author.
And we're also hosts of the Always Right podcast, which needs to be added.
Up in the top. It's already, if you're on VenderaPublishing.com, you can see Vendera, like all the stuff from Vendera.
I'm talking about in the bio. To me, that's...
Oh, yes. Well, actually, if you go to Amazon and you Google my name, Always Right Podcast comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure mine doesn't because I haven't keyworded or anything, but it does. We'll see. You've taken care of me. She does have access to my Amazon account, which we talked about earlier. I'm like, hey, it's
when
all
I
the
really
same
want
thing.
something pretty, I just order it from Jamie.
I'm like, I did not order that dress. What? What? Carissa.
Oh, one of these days I might do something like that just for fun. You'd be like, what's it? And Diane would be like, why did you order that? All right. So something else I have listed here. This is something that we talk about constantly throughout the podcast episodes is the consistency and conciseness of your work, but also in your author bio. Make sure that it is easy to read. Don't do what we did in an episode a couple weeks ago that's talking about word vomit just to make you sound more intelligent than you are. So yeah, I mean, and AI is not going to be able to help you. AI does not know you. So it can't be like, write an author bio about John Glenn. It's going to know John Glenn because it knows John Glenn. But you're not John Glenn. You're a different John Glenn. You know what I mean?
It may pull a few things. I did that one day with AI for me. And it pulled a few things, but it was like, Jamie's a singer. He breaks glass. Blah, blah. I mean, it was like, it made no sense. So,
yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're someone famous, you probably have someone already writing your author bio for you. And AI is going to only be able to pull up what's on there. But if you're not known, AI does not know you. So don't use AI. But yeah, so you're about the author section. Avoid excessive detail. Lengthy paragraphs that may lose readers' interest. Use friendly and conversational tone to make it engaging. This was my notes. I was reading my notes. I found this that now that I put my notes over here, it's so much easier to read than me looking down like this and like stay on point. Let's see. Now, something I don't do, and I do not put extreme details about my family. I'm a mother of daughters, but I'm kind of leery about that because I feel like if you do become super famous, you don't want people knowing too much about yourself.
Yeah, I've put minor details in the past, like I live in Ohio with my 2 dogs and 37 cats or something like that. But yeah, I would watch it. Like, yes, he comes from Pasadena, California, where he's raising 2 girls on his own, and getting ready to get remarried. They don't need to know that about you. I mean, if they're a fan, if they're like obsessed with you, they're going to find out anyway, but don't help them.
So, okay, I gotta learn to stop using the word "so" when I listen to the podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, I use the word "so." I always
say, listen.
Oh,
listen,
Linda. Yeah, I need to start.
Listen, Linda. Yeah.
I need to start taking that extra word out of there. So I did it again. I'm gonna start taking that word out of my conversation as much as possible.
Don't take listen away from me.
Therefore, I must proceed to the next note. Okay, I wrote down, start by writing your name and provide a brief overview of your background experience or expertise. Something that I found you can do is ask a friend to tell them, say, talk about me. If you had to write about me to someone, what would you say? So it's in third, I said so again. It's in third person, but you can tweak it. Be like, what are people seeing about me? What do they understand about me? What are the key points that people think is kind of like a highlight of me to put in my author bio? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they will say stuff like, Chris is a author of multiple books in both fiction and nonfiction, as well as owned her own beauty shop, and she was a this and that. So take into consideration, look as like, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. But at least you'll have a view of yourself that you might not have thought before, or they might say some really cool lines. Record it. Record what they say, just in case you're like, what did you just say there? That was really cool. I want to use that. I don't know. I got JDHD. I can't remember what I just said. So make sure you capture
I have that happen to me often, where I'm literally standing there talking to someone, telling them a story, full on giving the preface of the story, and then I forgot what the story I was actually. I'm like, I don't know what I was going to try to tell you. Like, I literally forgot what I was trying to tell you. I literally set this all up, and now I forgot what I was going to tell you, so I'll come back to it later.
So you're telling me you got a little bit of KDHD?
Yes. Mine, yeah. Stay tuned for the adventures of JDHD, because I am going to create some
fun.
Because
if you did a KDHD, it's not going to have a little water jug or anything.
Yeah, I don't know what mine would have. All right. So that was it was fun.
It's always fun.
It's always fun. Okay. All right. What's your plans for the day before we sign off here?
Always teach. I do always write, which is always fun. Then I have to always teach. I don't even know how late I got to teach. I don't think it's a late night. I think I'll be done by 7.
Oh,
so maybe only 8 students. Short day.
Not me. I have one client this evening, but I think I might go in my backyard and lay out in the sun.
Oh, okay. Just rub it in. My backyard is almost on the beach.
Well, I mean, I can see the pool from here.
Oh, okay. But you can't see the beach sand from there, right?
There's a path right here, and then I can walk that and go down to the beach if I wanted to.
Yeah, I hate you. I'm done. I'm glad you showed up Saturday and you left again, because I'm sick of it. Hey, I think we better end this podcast.
Look at this.
Oh, shut up.
No, this is from this is from being outside at beach tournaments. So this part is red. I'm going to send you a strange feet pic because
Did you just say that live on the podcast?
yes, it'll be
Always
free.
feet.
Totally free feet pic.
And
Of my feet yesterday in the sun. These feet are burnt, and there's a line where I had my pants on outside because my legs are super white, and I didn't want to wear shorts and blind the other team. So I wore pants. I'm like, man, I should wear shorts, but then I would have had a weird line with the shorts. So I was like, I hate tan lines like that. I mean, so now I know why some people lay naked.
all right, if I start making money off of it on strangefeetpics.com, I don't want to hear it because once you send it to me, I'm considering it public domain.
Like last week's episode.
I know, but I was promoting it. Go back and watch it to see if I talk about feet pics in it. And so,
all right. Well, since you opened, you get to close.
Oh gosh. Okay.
You do a great job, but you do a great job at this. Do not. Your opening needs some work, but your closing is amazing.
I love how I do it because I know it drives you insane.
No, I know.
Hey, so all right, I'll be serious. AlwaysRightPodcast.com. Go to the website. You know, if you wanna, I don't remember where we're at. I say this every time. Spotify, Apple Music. You can watch us on YouTube. You can email us at alwaysrightpodcast@gmail.com. Because you know what? If you write a bio and you're curious, I'd love for you to send it to us. You know, let us help you out. Let's check it out and give you some pointers.
Absolutely.
We love that. So, but yeah, reach out. Go back and watch all of the podcasts. We're putting some really cool little nuggets in here to help you as a writer. We're always growing. Chris and I don't know everything, you know, but we love to write. We've both been writing for well over a decade, and some of us a little more because some of us are a lot older.
You're not that much older than me.
I'm 10 years older than you, remember?
No, you're not.
That's right. We discussed this. JDHD. Anyway, alwaysrightpodcast.com. Come see us. Check out the podcast. Email us. We're here to help you. We want to help you grow as an author. I'm your host, Jamie Vendera, and this is
author Carissa DeLay. Thanks for listening, and always write.